quiet depths of the forest, enveloped by the gentle whispers of the wind, there lived Bai Suzhen, a magnificent white snake spirit. For centuries, her shimmering scales glistened under the moonlight, a sight so enchanting, it captivated all who laid eyes upon her. Yet beneath her ethereal beauty dwelled a longing, a yearning for the human world that she had observed from afar. Though she resided in a realm filled with magic and wonder, Bai Suzhen felt an insatiable desire to experience life as mortals did, and listen to the stories carried by the breeze, tales of laughter, love, and dreams woven into the fabric of human existence. Each night, as the stars blanketed the sky, she would gaze longingly upon the distant village, her heart swelling with an unexplainable ache. Time passed like water flowing through a stream, and during one auspicious day, as the Qingming Festival approached, Bai Suzhen made a momentous decision. He sought the counsel of the wise goddess of mercy, who resided on the mountain peaks, draped in robes of purity. Softest of voices, the goddess spoke to Bai Suzhen, illuminating the path that beckoned her. With newfound determination, Bai Suzhen transformed into a breathtakingly beautiful woman, her hair whipping like silk around her shoulders. Her delicate features glowed with an inner light, and as she stepped into the mortal realm, the world erupted into colors more vivid and alluring than she had ever imagined. The air felt alive with possibility, and every flower seemed to nod in acknowledgement of her presence. She wandered through the village during the festival. Bai Suzhen's heart raced with excitement. The sounds of laughter and music echoed around her, enveloping her in warmth. It's the bustling crowd that her gaze fell upon him, Xu Xian, a kind-hearted mortal, whose gentle demeanor radiated purity. Unbeknownst to her, he was the key to her dreams. Xu Xian, on that very day, was celebrating with friends, his heart filled with a simple joy that came from the festivities. Little did he know that fate had scripted a different story for him. The moment he laid eyes on her, time itself seemed to halt. Suzhen stood amidst the festival, her presence dazzling like the sun breaking through the clouds. Their gaze met, and the world around them faded like a distant memory. That instant, an invisible thread connected their souls, binding them together in a tapestry woven with the threads of destiny. Xu Xian was entranced by her beauty, but it was the kindness in her eyes that stirred a longing he did not understand. Suzhen, too, felt an overwhelming wave of affection, as though she had known him in another life. Dusk settled over the village. The two wandered through the temple gardens, surrounded by blooming flowers that danced in the evening breeze. Laughter filled the air as they shared stories, their spirits intertwining like the vines that adorned the ancient stone walls. Each moment spent together ignited a spark, a sense of belonging neither had ever felt before. But as the moonlight bathed the earth in a silvery sheen, it also cast shadows that whispered caution. Unbeknownst to them, a force lurked in the depths of the night, a monk named Fa Hai, whose moral compass insisted that their union transgressed the boundaries of nature. He watched from afar, sensing something extraordinary in the air, yet shrouded in a veil of foreboding. Xu Xian and Bai Suzhen reveled in their newfound connection. Fa Hai's resolve strengthened. A legend of the white snake was not lost on him, and he vowed to intervene. At that night, neither Xu Xian nor Bai Suzhen could foresee the trials that awaited them. Or love, in all its beauty, often dances alongside the shadows of sacrifice. The festival came to a close. The stars glimmered in silent witness to the blossoming romance. Deep within the heart of nature, two worlds, one of spirit and one of mortality, began to entwine, sowing seeds of a love that would soon face unfathomable tests. So, in that sacred moment, the legend of the white snake quietly unfurled, heralding a story of passion, adversity, and the unyielding power of love. The sun rose brightly over the bustling streets, illuminating the joyful celebration of love that had taken place between Bai Suzhen and Xu Xian. Their hearts danced in unison, bound together by an invisible thread that felt as ancient as time itself. Days turned into joyous weeks, each filled with laughter and shared dreams. The couple explored the vibrant world around them, sharing tender moments and whispers of affection, unaware of the shadows that loomed, waiting to engulf their bliss. The weeks passed. Xu Xian confided in his closest friend, Yang Sheng under the shade of a blossoming cherry tree. He described Bai Suzhen's enchanting beauty and the warmth she brought into his life. Sheng listened, an amused smile on his face, yet his mind wandered to thoughts of the secrets that lingered just beneath the surface of such an extraordinary relationship. He reflected softly on the delicate balance of love and mystery that surrounded his friend, a mix of sincerity and uncertainty weaving through their conversation. Green afternoon, the air thick with the fragrance of blooming flowers. The tranquility of their love began to stir as an unseen presence loomed closer. Hai, the resolute Buddhist monk, arrived at the edge of the village. With an unwavering conviction, he sensed a disturbance in the natural order, something unnatural in Xu Xian's newfound love. Determined, he sought out the pair, intent on revealing the hidden truths that may shatter their exquisite bond. Hai approached Xu Xian with an air of authority, his voice steady yet filled with urgency. He spoke of the dangers that accompanied love between mortal and spirit, warning Xu Xian of the enchantress he had attached himself to. He described tales of ancient spirits who lured mortals into forbidden realms, promising bliss, but often leading to sorrow. His words dripped with concern, striking a chord of fear within the earnest heart of Xu Xian. With each tale Fa Hai unveiled, Xu Xian's heart began to tremble. Doubts crept into his mind like shadows in the twilight, whispering fears of betrayal and revealing what was hidden. How could he truly know the essence of Bai Suzhen? Her beauty was ethereal, enchanting, but was there a darkness veiled beneath it? Xu Xian felt the weight of these questions swirling in his heart as he desperately sought clarity. Upon returning home, Xu Xian's heart ached with uncertainty. Jin greeted him with her radiant smile, the light in her eyes warming his soul. As they shared a meal, he couldn't shake the haunting words of Fa Hai. Laughter echoed lightly off the walls, but felt somehow distant, as if the very air around them had thickened with tension. Ian found himself lost in thought, momentarily torn between his love and the ominous warnings. Suzhen, sensitive to his change in demeanor, inquired gently, her voice like a whisper of wind through the trees. He sensed something amiss, a disturbance in the harmony they had shared so effortlessly. Ian hesitated, the truth of his doubts lingering on the tip of his tongue, yet the warmth of her love enveloped him, pulling him back from the edge of fear. He wished to believe in the purity of their bond, to trust in the unbreakable connection they shared. Meanwhile, Fa Hai's presence thickened in the background, a relentless pursuit of truth mingled with destiny. He resolved to unveil the nature of Bai Suzhen, his determination glowing like a flickering flame. The seeds of doubt planted within Xu Xian burgeoned under Fa Hai's watchful gaze. The monk's righteous intentions grew stronger as he sought to protect Xu Xian from what he perceived as a lurking danger, as he was unaware of the profound love that blossomed in silence. A tale of love and uncertainty, the tale began to weave intricate patterns of destiny, where each character would play their part in the unfolding drama. The stage was set, and unbeknownst to Bai Suzhen, Xu Xian, and Fa Hai, their lives were about to collide in ways that would reshape their fates, engulfing them in a whirlwind of truth, sacrifice, and the quest for eternal love. The days passed. The love between Bai Suzhen and Xu Xian blossomed like a beautiful flower under the sun. Each moment they shared was etched into their hearts, a symphony of laughter echoing through the corridors of time. Suzhen's graceful spirit intertwined seamlessly with Xu Xian's earnest nature, creating a bond that felt both ancient and new. A village became a backdrop for their love story, filled with vibrant markets, serene temples, and quiet moments under the stars. Amidst this happiness, a shadow loomed Fa Hai, the unwavering monk who viewed their union as an abomination. He watched closely, seeking every opportunity to reveal Bai Suzhen's true nature. So doubt began to waft through Xu Xian's mind, and small peculiarities in his beloved's behavior raised questions he had never dared to ask before. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the village, Xu Xian found himself contemplating the oddities. He recalled moments when Bai Suzhen would vanish without explanation, the way she could weave charms from mere flowers, and her unsettling ability to evade night's chill. The once comforting mysteries of Bai Suzhen now turned into a web of uncertainty that ensnared his heart. Conflicted, Xu Xian decided to seek counsel from Jiang Sheng, his closest friend, who had always offered him solace and perspective. Under the starlit sky, they settled by the riverside, the gentle sound of water mirroring the tumult in Xu Xian's heart. He expressed his fears, the shadow of doubt whispering that perhaps Bai Suzhen was not as she seemed. Jiang Sheng listened intently, his brow furrowed as he mulled over the complexities of love and sacrifice. Jiang Sheng suggested that love should be unshackled by fear or doubt, for it blooms in trust and understanding. In the depths of Xu Xian's heart, a conflict brewed, wrestling with the allure of Bai Suzhen's ethereal beauty and the unsettling warning of Fa Hai. Days turned into weeks, and as the moon waxed and waned, Fa Hai's machinations intensified. A monk devised a plan, cunning and relentless. Fateful night, under the guise of seeking guidance, he confronted Bai Suzhen at the temple. With a voice that echoed with righteousness, he demanded she reveal her true self, daring her to admit the truth of her spirit form. Jin felt a tremor ripple through her being, caught between her love for Xu Xian and the weight of her hidden identity. He remained calm but resolute. Though fear lingered, she held tightly to her love, knowing that to reveal her true self might shatter the fragile bond they had forged. A moment of desperation, Fa Hai used his powers to capture her, binding her in sacred chains deep within the temple's walls. He declared to Xu Xian that he had saved him from a deceptive spirit. Urging him to abandon his love for Bai Suzhen, she posed a threat to his mortal soul. Heartache pierced Xu Xian as he stood before the temple, trapped in the torment of conflicting emotions. He felt the heaviness of Fa Hai's words wrap around him like cold chains. To choose love meant to defy the very nature of his existence, yet how could he relinquish the one who had awakened his heart? In the depths of despair, Bai Suzhen, imprisoned yet spirited, plotted to unveil her truth. Hoping that her undying love could transcend the bindings that held her captive, she resolved to reveal her true form to Xu Xian, believing that authenticity could mend the rift separating their worlds. Oh, with each fleeting moment, an incredible tension built in the air, an intertwining of the mortal with the divine, the earthly with the ethereal. Bai Suzhen prayed to the goddess of mercy, her heart echoing with a plea for strength. He yearned for Xu Xian to understand that their love was timeless, rooted in a fate that transcended realms. As night fell and the stars began to shimmer, the bonds of fate tightened. Jin's spirit flickered like a candle in the darkness, resilient and courageous, while Xu Xian stood at the threshold of decision, poised between love and fear. The winds carried whispers of surrender, each soft breath a reminder of the love they shared, urging him to believe in the extraordinary magic of their existence. That fragile moment, a choice loomed on the horizon, one that would change their lives forever. Or in love, the greatest sacrifices often arise from the truest forms of devotion. And so, the tale of the white snake spiraled toward its heart-wrenching climax, as the passion entwined with the shadows of fate awaited its unraveling. The dim light of the herbalist's shop, the air was thick with the fragrant scent of dried herbs and tinctures, a sanctuary untouched by the chaos outside. Ian paced nervously, his heart a tumult of emotions, the agony of separation, and the longing for his beloved Bai Suzhen weighing heavily upon it. There that the elderly herbalist Liu stood, his wise eyes sparkling with understanding. He sensed the turmoil in Xu Xian's heart, for he had seen the love that blossomed between the spirit and the mortal. With gentle hands, Liu began to brew a calming tea, imparting insights that flowed like the soothing water of a stream. He spoke of love's resilience, of the sacrifices made for those we cherish. He recalled the legends of spirits and mortals who triumphed against all odds, emphasizing the nobility within Bai Suzhen's essence. Words wrapped around Xu Xian, providing him with strength as he listened intently, grasping the notion that true love was never devoid of challenges. An effort to embolden Xu Xian's spirit, Liu shared tales of Bai Suzhen's noble deeds and the sacrifices she had made for him. Each story painted a picture of her unwavering devotion and the purity of her heart, compelling Xu Xian to confront the doubts that had seeped into his mind like the shadows of dusk. With each sip of the herbal tea, clarity began to unfurl like petals kissed by morning dew. A faith he held in Bai Suzhen's love swelled within him, warming the corners of his heart that had grown cold with fear. Determined, Xu Xian resolved to confront Fa Hai, the monk who had cast a shadow over their love. His heart raced as he envisioned the encounter, yet he knew it was necessary for the sake of both his beloved and himself. With newfound resolve, he thanked Liu, whose kind words lingered in his mind like a balm to his soul, before setting off towards the temple where Fa Hai resided. Xu Xian approached the solemn structure. He could feel the air around him growing dense with tension. The temple stood as a reminder of the divide that had come between him and Bai Suzhen, a fortress built on fear and misunderstanding. Ah Hai awaited inside, his countenance stern and unwavering, an embodiment of righteous intention. With his heart pounding, Xu Xian entered the temple, where flickering candles cast dancing shadows across the stone walls. He found Fa Hai in deep meditation, the monk's brow furrowed with contemplation. Taking a deep breath, Xu Xian spoke with a voice steady but filled with emotion, expressing the depths of his commitment to Bai Suzhen. He pleaded for understanding, for the chance to illuminate the truth of their love. Hai opened his eyes, gazing intently at Xu Xian. He remained firm and resolute, recounting the dangers hidden in the union of spirit and mortal. His words felt heavy, each syllable laced with concern for Xu Xian's safety. A monk believed he was acting in the best interest of all a guardian shielding a mortal from peril. As Xu Xian listened, he began to sense the monk's perspective shrouded in fear, a misunderstanding of the love that connected him to Bai Suzhen. In that moment, a presence interrupted the tension. The goddess of mercy, Guanyin, descended gracefully, her aura radiating peace and compassion. Her voice carried a soothing melody that reverberated through the corners of the temple. It reminded Fa Hai of the true nature of love and the importance of compassion. He understood the bonds between spirit and mortal, transcended the boundaries of fear and judgment, urging him to open his heart to the possibility of acceptance. Xu Xian felt the warmth of Guanyin's spirit envelop him, illuminating the path forward. Shen's love was not a threat. It was a testament to the strength of their souls intertwined. The goddess urged Fa Hai to reconsider his stance, touching upon the profound consequences of severing love's bond. In the midst of this divine intervention, Xu Xian felt hope igniting within him, assuring him that love could conquer even the deepest misunderstandings. Guanyin's words echoed in the sacred space. The atmosphere shifted. A tension began to dissolve, giving way to a glimmer of understanding. I regarded Xu Xian with newfound awareness, shaped by the goddess's wisdom. Perhaps, in his pursuit to protect, he had overlooked the beauty of love's resilience. At this revelation, Xu Xian seized the opportunity to express his unwavering commitment to Bai Suzhen. He spoke of the moments they shared, the laughter that filled their home, and the kindness woven into their connection. With each word, the walls of division began to crumble, paving the way for compassion to flourish. The aftermath of this encounter, Xu Xian's heart swelled with yearning to reunite with Bai Suzhen. He felt her essence calling to him, a gentle reminder of the love that awaited him beyond the shadows. With renewed conviction, he set forth, leaving the temple with a heart unburdened, ready to bridge the gap that had threatened to tear them apart. Twilight descended upon the village. Xu Xian approached the serene oasis, where Bai Suzhen often lingered. The air shimmered with anticipation, and he could sense her presence guiding him closer. A moment that felt suspended in time, their eyes met, a connection that transcended the trials they had faced. Driven by love and the promise of reunion, Xu Xian took Bai Suzhen's hands in her warmth, washing over him like a gentle wave. The quiet sanctuary of their love, they pledged to confront the obstacles together, forging a bond unbreakable by fear, a testament to the power of their love, illuminated by the tranquil light of the moon above. Together, they would embark on a journey that would intertwine their destinies, crafting a future where love triumphed over despair, embodying the essence of hope and acceptance across the realms. And so, hand in hand, they stepped forward into the unknown, ready to embrace whatever lay ahead. The sun shone warmly on the landscape, illuminating the tranquil village where love once blossomed, now veiled with uncertainty. Xu Xian stood in the shadow of the temple, the air heavy with the whispers of his heart. Suzhen, his beloved, was imprisoned within, her true essence hidden behind the sacred walls binding her. A taste of despair hung on his tongue, bittersweet and sharp, accentuating the tug-of-war between loyalty and fear clawing at his heart. Each passing moment, Xu Xian felt the weight of Fa Hai's warnings pressing against him, curling around his thoughts like tendrils of smoke. A monk had claimed to protect him, yet Xu Xian struggled to comprehend how love could ever be a curse. He paced restlessly, the chaos within him screaming for clarity as memories of Bai Suzhen's warmth flickered through his mind. In solitude, Bai Suzhen's heart raced against her confines. By chains of fate, she was determined to reveal her true self to Xu Xian, yearning for him to understand the depth of their love. With every pulse of her heart, she summoned the energy of their shared memories, each moment steeped in laughter and tenderness. He prayed to the goddess of mercy, a flicker of hope igniting her spirit. In her quiet desperation, she sought the strength to break free, not just from her physical bonds, but also to liberate their love from suspicion and doubt. A moonlight began to dance upon the temple grounds, casting flickering shadows as if the universe itself held its breath in anticipation. Xu Xian's mind swirled with insecurities, but a deep, unwavering call from his heart urged him to act. He could not abandon Bai Suzhen. He envisioned her radiant smile, igniting the darkness that threatened to consume him. Fueled by love, he resolved to confront Fa Hai once again, born of conviction rather than fear. Xu Xian strode to the temple, his heart thundering in his chest like a drum heralding a storm. He approached the sacred entrance. Intricate carvings glimmered in the low light, each a testament to faith. Standing firmly upon the threshold, he felt the power of love surge within him, vulnerability and courage mingling like harmonizing notes in a beautiful melody. Suzhen, Xu Xian whispered, his voice trembling, "I will find you." Within the temple, Bai Suzhen sensed the familiar warmth of his spirit, held her with determination, illuminating the darkness surrounding her with a beacon of hope. Poise, she tore at the bindings, restricting her. That moment of desperation, she reached deep within her core, the essence of her love flowing forth, resonating with the world outside. She harnessed her strength, the chains rattled, emitting an ethereal glow. With a vibrant pulse of energy, Bai Suzhen cast away the darkness looming over their love, transforming the confinement into sheer brilliance. Xu Xian felt the shift, an otherworldly presence enveloping him, igniting the instinct to rush forward. He pushed through the temple doors, the threshold shifting as Bai Suzhen's presence radiated. A flash illuminated the space, dispelling the shadows lurking in waiting. Before Xu Xian stood Bai Suzhen, her true form unfolding the beautiful white snake emerged with an elegance that bewitched his very soul. Her scales shimmered like moonlit waters, each glimmer reflecting the love intertwined in their destiny. Xu Xian gasped, tears welling in his eyes as he marveled at her true nature. That moment of revelation, all his fears dissolved into the background, washed away by the tide of love that surged forth. Suzhen, majestic and vulnerable, coiled before him, her gaze filled with longing and reassurance. The sacred silence, an unspoken understanding blossomed between them. Xian stepped closer, reaching out to touch her, fingers trembling as he connected with her ethereal spirit, the essence of love that transcended all boundaries. "Though the world may not understand," he whispered, his voice a gentle breeze, "my heart belongs to you. Choose you, my beloved Bai Suzhen." In response, a warmth enveloped them both, as Bai Suzhen illuminated the air with a soft, ethereal glow. Her spirit merged with Xu Xian's, blending the essence of mortal and ethereal into a harmonious union. The boundaries between their worlds began to dissolve, weaving a tapestry of love radiant with potential and enchantment. The peace was fleeting. From the shadows emerged Fa Hai, witnessing the convergence of their spirits. His heart burned with righteous fury and an unwavering resolve to protect the sanctity of the mortal realm. He raised his hand, an incantation poised on his lips, but the goddess of mercy intervened, her presence drifting in like a gentle breeze. With a voice resonating like thunder wrapped in compassion, she reminded Fa Hai of the love binding their souls together. He spoke of unity, of understanding, and of the promises made by the hearts under the celestial tapestry, a reminder that love was not a curse but a blessing, a bridge that anchored the celestial and mortal realms. Fa Hai paused as the goddess of mercy illuminated the truth that escaped him, the profound strength of love capable of creating harmony rather than discord. A flicker of doubt in his eyes made way for a flicker of understanding. Perhaps, he murmured, the fight ebbing from his voice, it is in love that acceptance can evolve. With Fa Hai's words weaving into the air, the tension dissipated. A sanctity of the moment enveloped them. Xian and Bai Suzhen drew strength from one another, united in their resolve to embrace their love, accepting the trials destined to test their bond. That sacred space before the temple, the three figures stood united, mortal spirit, and monk emerging from the shadows into the light. Of transcended fear, weaving a new narrative where acceptance blanketed uncertainty, forging a path illuminated by the luminous essence of truth. Dawn broke, washing the earth with a golden hue. Bai Suzhen and Xu Xian vowed to face the challenges that lay ahead together. Shimmered with whispers of love, filling their hearts with the knowledge that their souls were entwined for eternity, as the legend of the white snake unfurled into a beautifully woven tale of commitment, hope, and immortal love. The quiet embrace of dawn, as the first rays of sunlight pierced through the heavy mist, a sense of hope flickered like the gentle flame of a lantern. Suzhen stood, her spirit soaring as she felt the familiar warmth of Xu Xian's presence nearby. After the turmoil and the deep chasms of doubt that had threatened to split apart their sacred bond, a renewed sense of love enveloped them. Moments earlier, Xu Xian had emerged from the temple, heart racing, filled with clarity and determination. Words of the goddess of mercy echoed in his mind, encouraging him to believe in the innate goodness of their loved one that transcended mortal and spirit confines. He approached the tranquil spot where Bai Suzhen often found solace. His heart swelled with a sense of purpose. The golden hues of the morning wrapped around him, and the gentle rustling of leaves whispered promises of reconciliation. He was Bai Suzhen, a vision of elegance standing at the water's edge, her reflection shimmering in the soft ripples. A sight of her stole Xu Xian's breath, a reminder of what he had fought so fiercely to protect. With each step he took, the world around him faded until only she remained in focus. In her eyes, he could see the soul of a creature not bound by earthly constraints, a spirit of grace, longing, and profound love. Their gazes locked, a wave of recognition swept over them, binding their hearts once more. Suzhen felt the air change, sensing Xu Xian's approach before turning to face him. Her heart fluttered with anticipation, and as he drew closer, she recognized the fire in his eyes, a reflection of her own love that had endured the fiercest trials. A moment where time seemed to stand still, they reached for one another, fingers intertwining as the barriers of fear and doubt melted away. Xian looked deeply into Bai Suzhen's eyes, the warmth and sincerity radiating from them, reassuring him that he had made the right choice. He spoke without words, the tenderness of his gaze expressing a promise of fidelity, a vow to stand by her despite the darkness that threatened to engulf them. Suzhen responded with a soft sigh, her heart swelling with gratitude and love. Together, they began to share their truths, the weight of their experiences merging into an exchange of vulnerability and understanding. Xu Xian recounted the trials he faced, his heart burdened by fear and confusion, yet filled with an unyielding desire to be with her. He spoke of the faith he had found through the herbalist Liu's guidance and the divine intervention of Guanyin, illuminating the clarity that had finally filled his heart. She listened. Bai Suzhen felt the deep connection they shared reaffirmed. He, too, revealed the specters of doubt she had battled, the fear of losing the love that had transformed her essence. Together, they poured forth their souls, uncovering the threads of strength that had woven them into a single entity, a spirit and a mortal, bound by the extraordinary gift of love. But soon, the shadow of Fa Hai would still loom. They both understood that while the past could not be changed, their resolve to redefine their future pulsed with fierce energy. Xu Xian vowed to confront Fa Hai once more, not out of anger, but with compassion to reach beneath the monk's rigid beliefs. He was determined to understand the depth of Fa Hai's convictions and strive to illuminate the truth hidden within the shadows. Suzhen took a deep breath, her voice a soft embrace around Xu Xian's heart. It reminded him of the love that had allowed them to rise from despair, urging him to embrace not just the love they held, but the power of forgiveness and understanding. As they stood hand in hand, gazing into the endless expanse of the blue skies ahead, they felt an unspoken promise fluttering between them, a commitment to brave the tempest that would surely arise, and to lift each other in times of uncertainty, forging strength in unity. United, Bai Suzhen and Xu Xian turned towards the temple, a path lined with breathtaking lotus blossoms leading the way. With every step, they sensed the intertwining of their destinies drawing nearer, propelled by hope, resilience, and the undying flames of love. They embarked on this journey together, hearts beating in harmony, ready to meet whatever awaited them on the other side of this sacred union of world's spirit and mortal, entwined in a dance of eternal love. The legend of the white snake breathed anew, the threads of fate weaving a story filled with promise, where love triumphed over darkness and sacrifice transformed into a celebration of unity. And so, with hope in their hearts, they marched onward, ready to illuminate the paths laid before them, unbound by the limits of the past and buoyed by the magic of their love. The silent quietude of the night, the world felt suspended in time. The moon hung like a guardian in the heavens, washing the land with its gentle glow. Xu Xian stood at the threshold of the temple, wrestling with tumultuous emotions that churned within him. The sound of his heart echoed in the still air, a steady drum reminding him of the love that awaited him inside, yet cloaked by fear and doubts. Within the temple's sacred walls, Bai Suzhen felt the weight of solitude enveloping her. Her spirit, though confined by chains fashioned from misunderstanding, flickered with unwavering hope. Memories of laughter, shared dreams, and love pulsated within her, fueling the determination that ran deep in her soul. She closed her eyes, summoning the strength of their connection, yearning for Xu Xian to feel her presence reaching out to him across the divide. Xu Xian hesitated, memories rushed through him, anecdotal echoes of joy perfumed with laughter, a kaleidoscope of their moments together, from tender glances to whispered promises wrapped in moonlight. The shadow of Fa Hai loomed large in his mind, the monk's stern warnings coiling through his thoughts like serpents, tightening their grip. As he stood there, Xu Xian felt the subtle pull of Bai Suzhen's essence, an unbreakable bond stretching across the realms. Each breath, he summoned courage, recalling the warmth of her smile and the gentleness of her touch, both now pulling him toward the truth of their love. With resolve swelling in his heart, he pushed through the temple doors, the wood creaking under the weight of destiny. Inside, the flickering candles cast shadows that danced like spirits on the stone walls. In the silence, he called out to her, his voice a whisper reverberating in the stillness. His words traveled through the air, rich with longing, with promise he would find her. Suzhen's heart raced at the sound of Xu Xian's voice, a melody that filled the air with warmth and light. Deep within her, a surge of power awakened as if the very essence of love itself was calling forth her spirit. That moment of union, she channeled every hope and every desire, every thread of magic woven with Xu Xian's affection. With renewed vigor, she strained against her binds, shimmering in a brilliance that illuminated the temple. Chains rattled as her power surged, breaking through the darkness that sought to entrap their love. Air shimmered around Xu Xian, illuminating the temple's interior as if the night itself held its breath in anticipation. The chains unraveled, Bai Suzhen emerged, her form transforming into the radiant image of the white snake, a breathtaking creature of elegance and grace. Scales glimmering under the moonlight, she coiled before Xu Xian, her essence a vivid testament to the depth of their love. In this moment, time lost its hold. Xian gasped at the sight, awe and wonder washing over him in waves. With tears glistening in his eyes, he reached out, his fingers trembling as he connected with her true form. The fears he once harbored began to dissipate, evaporating like morning mist under the sun's embrace. Suzhen, vibrant and majestic, reflected the purest essence of his love, a reminder that their foundation was authentic and unwavering. Amidst this poignant reunion, suspense lurked in the shadows. From the dim corners of the temple, Fa Hai emerged, a figure of righteous fury, yet softened by the glimpse of their shared bond. He bore witness to the unity of the mortal and spirit, yet his heart wavered as doubt threatened to flood his convictions. But before he could speak, the air shimmered once more as the goddess of mercy, Guanyin, graced the scene with her serene presence. Her voice, like a gentle rain, began to weave words of compassion and understanding, speaking of the power embedded in love, the sacred thread that unites all beings, regardless of their origins. The goddess urged Fa Hai to open his heart. Xu Xian felt the tides shift, a ripple of hope washing over him. That moment, he seized the opportunity to express the love that surged within him. He spoke of Bai Suzhen's kindness, of the moments shared beneath the stars, and the unmistakable bond that had blossomed in their hearts. With Guanyin's essence enveloping them, Fa Hai hesitated, allowing doubt to be replaced by a flickering light of understanding. Perhaps in fearing the unknown, he had overlooked the beauty they had created, a love that transcended mortal comprehension. The weight of judgment began to lift. Clarity emerged, illuminating the path forward. Within the sacred space, shadows began to dissipate, replaced by a shared understanding. Transformative power forged a new narrative among them, unveiling the beauty of acceptance. The three stood united, mortal, spirit, and monk in harmony, embracing the truth that love was not an obstacle but a bridge connecting separate worlds. Dawn's light brushed the horizon. Xu Xian and Bai Suzhen returned to each other, their hearts beating as one. A pledge to navigate the challenges ahead, a promise whispered to the skies as they ventured forth into the day. A legend of the white snake unfurled, not merely as a tale of love, enduring testament to the strength of connection, the intertwining of souls, or ever bound by love, guided by the eternal light of understanding and acceptance that illuminated their joined path. The hushed stillness of the temple, a spell of uncertainty lingered like the soft mist of dawn. Jin found herself bound, both in spirit and in heart, separated from the love that once enveloped her with warmth. The chains of fate held her captive, but the light of hope flickered within her soul, urging her to reconcile the distance created by fear and misunderstanding. She closed her eyes. Bai Suzhen concentrated on the memories they shared, a kaleidoscope of laughter, tenderness, and unspoken promises that painted her world with vibrancy. Pulse within, echoing the undeniable bond that tied her to Xu Xian. With every heartbeat, she endeavored to channel that love, her essence glimmering with determination to reveal her truth. Meanwhile, Xu Xian stood at the temple's entrance, his heart crumbling under the weight of turmoil. The fervent cries of his love, coupled with the heavy warnings of Fa Hai, tugged at his heart like a frayed rope. He felt the pull of his soul, yearning for Bai Suzhen, yet engulfed by the shadows of doubt that whispered dangerously close. Each step toward the temple felt monumental, the air dense with the gravitational force of their shared destiny. Suzhen, he whispered, the name dancing on his lips like a prayer to the cosmos. The connection he felt deepened, and he summoned every fragment of courage within him to confront the barriers that separated them. Inside, the gentle light of his love beckoned him, urging him forward. The temple's embrace, Bai Suzhen sensed the shift. Her heart raced as the familiar warmth of Xu Xian's spirit filled the space around her, illuminating the darkness that clung relentlessly. With fueled resolve, her energy surged. She strained against her bindings, channeling her love and purpose into an ethereal glow that radiated with potential and possibility. Then, she could feel Xu Xian's presence tangibly strengthening her spirit, a balm against her fears. Their hearts resonated across the distance, weaving threads of affection that transcended the physical barrier. That moment of shared yearning, a bond that had once faced doubt, became a powerful force of unity, solidifying their commitment to one another. The chains rattled under the intensity of her emotions. Bai Suzhen tore at the dark veil surrounding her, transforming confinement into resilience. The very air shimmered with her ethereal light, breaking the chains of doubt reinforced by Fa Hai. illuminating the truth she yearned to share. Xu Xian felt the brokenness of shadows with each shackle that fell, a longing to hold her, to assure her that their love could overcome even the greatest adversities. He pushed through the sacred doors. The brilliance within the temple greeted him there. She was Bai Suzhen, no longer just his beloved, but also an embodiment of grace and strength. Tears of joy welled in his eyes as he beheld her true form, witnessing the magnificent white snake with shimmering scales that caught the light like stars scattered across a twilight sky. It filled him with awe, and in that moment, fear evaporated into the ether, replaced with an unwavering commitment to love. "I see you," he murmured, his voice soft yet resolute, "and I choose you always." Bai Suzhen moved closer, allowing her essence to intertwine with his, creating a whirlwind of luminous energy that enveloped them both. The union transcended beyond mortal comprehension, forging a bond anew. Amidst this blissful convergence stood Fa Hai, who had been watching, a fierce guardian of the boundaries he believed in. "This folly," he urged, his voice steady, "not comprehend the danger of your union." Yet in that sacred moment where love illuminated the shadows, the presence of the goddess of mercy swirled into existence, her aura suffusing the air with tranquility. Gently, her voice a cascade of warmth reminding Fa Hai of compassion, and of the profound nature of love that could bridge the divide between mortal and spirit. With the goddess's light shining brightly, Fa Hai contemplated the depths of love. The fire of his beliefs flickered, and slowly, understanding seeped into his heart the realization that love, while it could indeed bind, could also set free. It continued to mend the fractures created by fear, paving the way for acceptance. That radiant moment, Xu Xian took Bai Suzhen's hands in his, feeling the connection pulse like the steady beat of his heart. Together, they bore witness to a truth that transcended expectations. Their love story was an intricate tapestry woven with sacrifice, understanding, and unwavering faith. Dawn broke the horizon, casting golden light across the village and sanctifying the sacred space. They made their vow to cherish one another, embracing the challenges ahead with resilience. United, their spirits intertwined. Bai Suzhen and Xu Xian stepped ahead with a renewed lightness, confident that love, in its purest form, was the most potent magic of all. And the tale of the white snake, a legend flourished anew, resonating with the promise of everlasting love, a dance that would echo through realms. Entwined souls carving a path for others to follow, testament to the power found in love that endures and perseveres. A moment laden with anticipation, Bai Suzhen felt the familiar warmth of Xu Xian's presence drawing nearer. Echoes of their past reverberated through her heart, each beat a reminder of the love that had blossomed amidst shadows and doubts. The chains that bound her, remnants of fear and misunderstanding, seemed to shimmer under her spirit's energy, hinting at the strength she drew from their connection. Xu Xian crossed the threshold into the temple. The air hung thick with the tension of uncertainty. Flickering candlelight cast playful shadows across the walls, reminiscent of the countless memories. They had shared moments filled with laughter and dreams that felt as if they were crafted from starlight. A doubt clouded his mind, shadows of Fa Hai's warnings whispering fear into his heart. As he stood before the altar where the weight of his journey had begun, he felt a flicker of resolve spark within him, igniting a flame that no amount of fear could extinguish. His love was worth every trial, every obstacle that loomed before them. "Ajin," he uttered softly, his voice breaking the silence like the first light of dawn breaking through darkness, filled with both longing and urgency. Ajin sensed his call, the tone wrapping around her like a soothing embrace. He concentrated her energy, a cascade of hope radiating from within her. A familiar warmth of their shared presence surged, intertwining their souls in a warm glow. In her heart, she held unfaltering faith that truth and love could unravel even the most tangled bonds. In that sacred moment, her spirit surged forth, resonating with the love they had built together. The chains rattled against the stone, shadows dissipating like mist under the morning sun. Xu Xian watched, the moment transformed. Light erupted from Bai Suzhen, illuminating the temple with a brilliance that transcended the ensuing darkness. There she rose, the majestic figure of the white snake, ethereal and radiant, scales shimmering like diamonds in the moonlight. A sight stole Xu Xian's breath, an awe-inspiring realization dawning upon him, clearing away every doubt that had once clouded his heart. Suzhen was not just a spirit, but a testament to love's strength, a creature whose essence reflected the purity of their bond. She coiled gracefully before him. Xu Xian stepped closer. With trembling hands, he reached out, his fingers brushing against her glowing form, every touch igniting echoes of their shared laughter, whispered promises, and the warmth of their union. In that moment, nothing else mattered. Fear dissolved into trust, and love filled the spaces between them, illuminating the path toward understanding. As their hearts began to bridge the divide, from the shadows emerged Fa Hai, his demeanor stern and resolute, intent on protecting Xu Xian from what he believed to be a lurking threat. His heart was conflicted, caught between the righteous path he had sworn to follow and the undeniable truth that Emily's love radiated. Seeing their connection, his hardened resolve began to waver. Before he could voice his condemnation, an unexpected light filled the chamber. The goddess of mercy, Guanyin, descended like a gentle mist, her presence suffusing the air with peace. He carried the wisdom of the ages, uniting their hearts in a vision of compassion. Her voice resonated, inviting Fa Hai to reflect on the sanctity of love, the very force that transcends life itself, binding mortals and spirits alike. In that sacred space, Xu Xian seized the moment. With a heart unveiled, he expressed the depths of his love for Bai Suzhen, recounting their journey, the laughter, the dreams, and the light they found in one another. He pleaded with Fa Hai, not in anger but in understanding, hoping to bring clarity to the monk's heart and illuminate the beauty woven into their connection. Hai listened, the weight of Xu Xian's words lingering in the air. His determined facade began to crack as he wrestled with the truth radiating from their love, intertwined with the wisdom of Guanyin. Perhaps love, in its purest form, could bridge the gulf between their worlds, rather than divide them. With a flicker of understanding igniting in his eyes, he expressed a moment of vulnerability. "I see now," he murmured. "It is in love that acceptance can thrive." The tension around them melted, replaced by a fragile peace. The quiet that enveloped them. They stood united, Xu Xian, Bai Suzhen, and Fa Hai, holding the promise of understanding in their hearts. Together, they forged a new path filled with compassion, acceptance, and a dedication to face whatever challenges lay ahead as one. Dawn's first light illuminated the temple. Bai Suzhen and Xu Xian turned to face the world together. With hands entwined, they pledged to navigate the complexities of their love, ready to embrace a future filled with hope. The legend of the white snake continued to unfold, not just as a tale of adversity, but as a celebration of love's enduring power, a radiant testament to unity, resilience, and the unbreakable ties that bind their fates. The quiet embrace of dawn, as the world began to stir from its slumber, Bai Suzhen found herself standing at the edge of a shimmering lake. The waters reflected the hues of the rising sun, a palette of gold and orange that painted the sky with hope. He felt the cool breeze caress her skin, a gentle reminder of Xu Xian's warmth, which lingered in her heart. After all the trials, their love had become a light guiding her through the darkest of nights. Meanwhile, Xu Xian wandered the familiar path toward the temple, his heart racing with anticipation. The tender memories of his time with Bai Suzhen fueled his step, urging him onward. After the heart-wrenching separation enforced by Fa Hai, he was determined to reconcile the differences that had driven them apart. A vision of Bai Suzhen's radiant smile pushed him forward, igniting a fire of courage within him. As he neared the temple, thoughts raced through his mind. The encounter with the goddess of mercy haunted him, her gentle reminder of love's power resonating deeply within. He had exchanged fear for clarity, his heart swelling with the knowledge that love could transcend boundaries, uniting spirit and mortal in a bond that could withstand adversity. Inside the sacred halls of the temple, Bai Suzhen's spirit glowed with anticipation, deep connection pulling her toward Xu Xian, a magnetic force intertwined with their souls. Loathed in resolution, she prepared to reveal her true essence, ready to dismantle the fears that had overshadowed their love. Xu Xian approached the sacred doorway, He inhaled deeply, sensing the vibrant energy that surrounded him. Till push, he stepped inside, the air shimmering as light poured through the open doors. There she stood, Bai Suzhen, her visage transforming into that of the magnificent white snake, each scale shimmering brilliantly, a reflection of the ethereal bond they shared. For a moment, time stood still. Xu Xian's heart thundered as he took in the sight before him, awe cascading over him like waves upon the shore. The beauty of Bai Suzhen in her true form left him breathless, and the fear that had once gripped his heart slowly began to fade into the background. Suzhen, he breathed, reaching toward her, their souls igniting in recognition. That instant, the temple seemed to vibrate with raw emotion, a testament to the love that could not be contained. The warmth of their spirits intertwined, illuminating the darkness and revealing paths untrodden. Xu Xian, Bai Suzhen replied silently, her essence reaching out to him. Their sacred union, their love became a force of nature, resonating throughout the temple with vibrations of acceptance and destiny. Two worlds merging, destined to forge a path that celebrated their connection. Basked in the glow of their reunion, Fa Hai emerged from the shadows of the temple, a looming figure bound by righteous intentions. He felt the tension surge, believing firmly he must shield Xu Xian from the dangers of their unconventional love. At the warmth radiating from the entwined spirits made him hesitate. His unwavering grip on truth began to soften, molded by the undeniable bond he observed. Before any words could be spoken, the air shimmered again as the goddess of mercy descended, her presence a soothing balm to the charged atmosphere. Softly, urging Fa Hai to reflect upon the essence of love, the power it wielded to bring light into even the darkest corners. It reminded him that love, in all its complexity, demanded understanding, not judgment. Xu Xian seized this opportunity, his voice steady yet filled with heartfelt conviction. He expressed the authenticity of his love for Bai Suzhen, weaving together the memories of their laughter and the magic that had defined their connection. He implored Fa Hai to see beyond the surface, to understand that their love bore no malice. Rather, it was a celebration of the union of two worlds. The atmosphere shifted, an unseen weight lifting as understanding began to bloom within Fa Hai's heart. He listened intently, witnessing the truth of the love laid bare before him. Perhaps he had misunderstood, wrapped in his dedication to uphold the sacred. He had overlooked the divine nature of a love that transcended barriers. That sacred moment, their spirits united, Xu Xian and Bai Suzhen forged a pact not only to stand by one another, but to embrace the world surrounding them. They vowed to face any trials and tribulations that lay ahead, anchored in unwavering faith and trust. Dawn broke, casting golden rays across the landscape. The air around them buzzed with a palpable energy, hope, love, and acceptance harmoniously intertwined. The legend of the white snake would echo through the ages, a resounding testament to love's transformative power, illuminating paths where once only shadows had lingered. Xu Xian and Bai Suzhen stepped forward together, hearts entwined, ready to embrace their future, a future crafted by love that knew no bounds.